the chance to welcome the new quarterback of the New York Jets. I can't believe I'm saying it.
Well, I know.
Aaron Rodgers
Wow.
is a New York Jet quarterback.
That's
the
right.
New York Jet quarterback. And he joins us now on the home of the New York Jets, 98.7 ESPN. Aaron, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How you doing today?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. It's been a whirlwind, but I think you're my last thing I got to do. So I'm saving the best for last.
Oh, I love it.
Love this guy.
I love it. All right, so here's what I'm wondering. You are, without argument, one of the greatest players who ever played football. Why did you need this after the great career that you had in Green Bay? What does this stop do for you, Aaron?
I would say I don't need it. I want it. I wanted a new adventure, a new challenge. I love the game so much, and the opportunity that was presented to come play for the New York Jets, I just couldn't pass up. To be able to play for a coach I really, really respect in Robert Saleh, to be under the tutelage again of a dear, dear friend in Nathaniel Hackett, to be part of a team that has a lot of pieces in place. You got the offensive and defensive rookie of the year. You have two guys who also could have been in the running, in Brees and Jermaine. You have an incredible group of players around those guys. You got a fan base that's hungry and passionate, and it's been a while since we've been in the playoffs, more or less been in the Super Bowl. We're talking 50-plus years. It's the opportunity to be a part of an iconic franchise, to be a part of the history of this franchise, and to make history. It's pretty special. And my love of the game, my passion, my drive, has kind of been re-energized with this new opportunity and this new adventure I'm going on.
You know, you mentioned it last, just how this fan base has been dying for a winner, dying for a quarterback. So, to go out there and slay the dragon, Aaron, like how important is that as opposed to maybe other places that have won recently?
Well, I mean, I don't know about slaying the dragon. Maybe it's becoming the dragon. Maybe it's becoming the big bad monster of the NFL, and changing the expectations and changing the perspective. I think that's important. We got to learn how to win as a team and win consistently. We got to set realistic and large expectations. I think there's been a lot of like Super Bowl or bust conversations, and I say embrace that, because that's the type of franchise, that's the type of fan base that you want to be a part of. You don't want to be a part of the team and a fan base that's just saying, hey, let's have a good season. Hey, let's go out and win 9 games, or let's go out and be on the edge of playoff contention. No, let's set expectations, and in this case, I truly believe this, realistic expectations. And we're one of a handful of teams that can go out and do this. And let's set those expectations. Let's believe in it. Let's figure out how we're going to get there together. And let's go freaking do it. And the fan base is ready. The organization, obviously Woody believes in me, believes in this team, believes in Coach Saleh. I think we got the right people in charge. And now it's about going out there and melding and meshing and coming together and finding that chemistry as a team and going out there and putting the product on the field that our fan base can be really, really proud of, and that can get them hyped and go out and do something special.
Aaron, you seem, over the last couple of times I've heard you speak, you seemed very at peace with this whole process. Your post yesterday to the Green Bay fans was really eloquent and kind. At what point did you sort of accept that this was the path and your time in Green Bay was up? Do you know it during last season? Was it before that? After?
I felt like that it was possible mid-season, for sure, that this was possibly my last season. I really felt like it after I got out of Green Bay. I remember leaving the city and just wondering if this was going to be the last time I left as the quarterback of the Packers. I felt like that was a real possibility. Not that they had maybe said that at that point, but just the feeling that I had was this year was different. And that's when I had to go into my contemplation and take some time away to mentally get clarity on what I wanted to do. And really, after I figuratively and literally came out of the darkness, it was the Jets was at the front of my mind and the only team I was thinking about. A lot of people say that, say when they get to sign with somebody, it's like, oh, it was always this, or they sign a player when it was rumored they wanted somebody else, and like, oh, this is the guy we always wanted. a lot of times it's BS, right? But in this case, it's the truth. When I came out of my contemplation, it was all about the New York Jets, and I just felt like the opportunity was too good to pass up on, and to be able to play for Hack again, to be able to play for Robert Saleh, to have Joe Douglas, be the GM, setting the vision, and also, having conversations with me about that and wanting to involve me in that process. And the opportunity to mentor Zach and to be a part of helping him, regain his confidence and become the player that we all know he's capable of being. And then to just be a part of helping the development of the young guys and inspiring some of the leaders to step in that role, because that's what we're going to need to get to where we want to go.
Green Bay is a sacred place for football, but it's the smallest market in the NFL. Do you have any trepidation at all, Aaron, going from the smallest market to the biggest market in the world?
I wouldn't say trepidation. No, I would say excitement. Mm-hmm. I obviously heard a lot about it and know kind of all the scare stories and different things. I've been in the public eye, most of my career. I've gone through some really interesting, situations, both as a young player and in the transition when, my predecessor came to the Jets 15 years ago, and then also, stuff more recently. So, I've dealt with the media. I know this is a different beast, but I'm excited about getting to know these people and I enjoy a media that really cares about their fan base or the players that they cover and the organization, and also obviously has the readers that they enjoy writing for. So I look forward to all things that come with being the quarterback of the New York Jets, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I just think the New York media just represents the New York fan base. And the one thing about New Yorkers, they're opinionated. You're very opinionated. So when you come into New York, will you change it all because there might be pushback from opinions and conversation, or are you looking forward to something like that?
Well, that's a great question. I think I got to be authentic to who I am, and it's gotten me this far. And I've made my fair share of mistakes and tried to learn from those, but I'm just going to keep on being me. And I love it. The New York fans of any sport, they have a passion about it and they expect greatness. And certain teams in the New York market have given them greatness over the years. And a lot of times it's like, okay, this is great. We love this year. And now what about next year? It's always. And I think there's something beautiful about that, because it's not, being average or mediocre is not a part of the situation. So I love that. I want to be a part of a team that has high expectations and isn't okay with mediocrity. And I love the opinions. I think that's the beautiful thing about our country is that there is still some freedom of speech and expression, and people voice their opinions, and I love it. It might not always be the right opinions. I might not always say the right thing, but I look forward to getting to know all of our fans and getting to interact with the reporters, get to know them, and learn a little bit more about them and their style, and hopefully let them learn a little bit more about me.
Well, listen, playing for the New York Jets, you will have a lot of interesting and cool fans, one of which is a friend of our show, Q-Tip of the great A Tribe Called Quest, one of the greatest groups of all time. And a huge fan now of you, Aaron, and he's been on board since this rumor started. And he texted me. I told him you were coming on the show, and he said, "Say to Aaron, the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III. The prospect of him coming here and winning for this Queens-originated franchise in year one would put him in rarefied air. Have you really thought about the air that you would be in if you could somehow take this team back?"
100% yes. And I fully embrace that challenge and that opportunity. And it's not the reason I'm here, but it's definitely something I think is really special. And that's going to be the focus from, this is day one. From day one until the end, that's going to be the perspective that we're going to have. That's going to be how we're going to manifest with our words and with our actions. And that's where we want to be in February, is who's becoming iconic members of a storied franchise by winning the championship here. And I'm excited about the prospects of being here, excited about the history of this team, and hopefully adding my name to that history.
Not that you need anybody else to set your template, but did you look at what Brady did leaving New England and getting a championship? Matthew Stafford left Detroit, getting a championship somewhere else. And was anything implanted in your head at that time, even though you were at Green Bay, hey, that might be a cool thing to do?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say I always wanted to retire a Packer. I just think there's something iconic about starting and ending with the same team. It's very rare it's been done. Obviously, Derek Jeter did it. Tim Duncan is a name that comes to mind. Kobe Bryant. That just is such a rare occurrence. I thought maybe I could be an outlier in that sense, but it didn't work out. And when you start to take your mind to the possibility of doing this, you're also forgetting Peyton Manning, who
Right.
went from Indy to Denver and won a championship. And there's been, listen, those are guys in my era. I played with those guys. I've been contemporaries of those guys. Had a lot of battles against Matthew, especially in Detroit. And I think there's something to a change of scenery for even some of the older guys where it can kind of rejuvenate you and re-energize your passion for the game and your excitement, and also just the possibility of doing something really special in a new city and endearing yourself to a new fan base is something really cool. And not every franchise is like the Jets. There's a few iconic franchises in our game, and like you said, when you win here, it's different than other places. Now, Green Bay is the same way. When you win in Green Bay, when you win in New York, you're forever going to have a place in the hearts and the history of those fan bases and those teams, and that's why I'm here.
Obviously, you talked about you're here, it could be beyond this year. How sure are you of that? Is that going to be something you're going to have to contemplate during the offseason? The fans would love to see how much longer you want to play football.
I want to play as long as it's fun. I want to play as long as I'm enjoying it, as long as my body can make it through. There's been a lot of changes in medicine and nutrition and diet and rehab and prehab and all these different modalities that people have done to stay active and to stay athletic. And I've been a proponent of all those things, and it's really helped me the last few years doing certain things to keep my legs and to feel like I'm strong throughout the season, and that's always a part of it. But I'm just honestly just focusing on this season right now, and the Jets did give a lot up to bring me in, and I'm fully aware of that. But right now I'm just going to focus on this year, and I'd like to play as long as I'm healthy and love it. And being back here with Coach Hackett, who always made every single day fun for 3 years in Green Bay, I think the fun part's going to be there. So it's just a matter of making sure my body is able to withstand the grind of the season, and we'll start with 2023 and take it from there.
What is it about Saleh you love so much?
Well, he's an alpha. He has a commanding presence. I enjoy the way he speaks. I enjoy the way that he handles press conferences. This is kind of my own thing I've seen from him. I haven't spent a ton of time. I haven't seen him, lead in front of a room yet, or not much on the practice field. I've seen him, when we did the inter squad practices in Green Bay. I saw kind of how he was, but I just like the way he talks. I like the presence that he has. He has a charisma about him, which is palpable. I think there's a lot to be said for that, but he listens as well. I think every great leader, you have to remember that there's, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and there's times to talk, and that your voice needs to carry the weight and the gravitas that you have, but there's also times to listen, and not just listen to respond, but listen to understand and to really take input and then delegate. And then at the end of the day, you have the final say, and what you say goes. So you have to carry some weight with your voice, but also be humble enough to listen to people who just want to help you. And I think that's what every great leadership, individual with leadership has. And I think he's one of those guys. So I enjoy the time I've spent with him, and enjoy getting to know him even more.
And I think the step one to you winning over this New York fan base was the words you had about Joe Namath and what he means to this town, and the fact that you, even though he offered the number, you decided to go with 8. Did you ever consider 12, and have you actually been on the phone with Joe yet and had the pleasure of talking to him?
I haven't. I've met Joe on a few occasions at Super Bowl events, at the ESPYs, I believe, or the NFL Honors as well. And always enjoy their interactions. It's surreal for me to meet, some of my idols that I, grew up, because I'm such a lover of the history of the game. And like I said in the press conference, I used to wear out this old VHS tape of Super Bowl highlights. So when I got to Green Bay, I already knew who Bart Starr was, and Max McGee, and Fuzzy Thurston, and Jerry Kramer, and Ray Nitschke, and Willie Davis, and on and on and on and on and on. And you can't know the history of the Super Bowl without Super Bowl III and that 16-7 win, and knowing the story about Joe, and then learning the other stories about some of the crazy stuff that he did before social media was around. It's wearing a fur, and just the incredible charisma that he has. And so then I obviously saw what he had said about allowing me to unretire the number, and as much as I was super honored and touched by that, 12 for the Jets is Joe Willie Namath, and that's how it should always be. And I just thought it was appropriate for me to show the proper respect and honor for him in his career by taking a different number.
Well, we have to show you respect. We can't keep you the whole show, although we'd love to, because I can see why Pat McAfee would have you on for an hour and 15 minutes, because you're very compelling. Will you be Broadway Joe? When Broadway Joe was wearing pantyhose and doing all those commercials, he was like 25 years old. You're 39. Will you be a nightlife guy when you're not playing?
I don't know about that. Maybe during the off season a little bit. Nightlife as you get older, kind of the end of the nighttime kind of shifts from, maybe something in the wee hours of the morning to probably something before midnight. So
yeah, a little chamomile tea.
I'm gonna definitely enjoy the opportunity to get out in the city. There's obviously incredible food and stuff to do, and I'm gonna enjoy that as much as I can with my teammates. And there's a lot of friends who've been coming to Green Bay for a long time who are excited about, direct flights from the West Coast.
Sure.
And, staying in the city, doing dinners and Broadway shows and all that fun stuff. So, they were really excited about this decision as well. But I'm excited about what we got, cooking in the building. And then when I have some time off, everybody keeps talking to me about golf and Jersey. So I'm excited to figure out some of these courses, because I do enjoy playing a little bit of golf, but also excited to, mess around the city a little bit.
All right, one final thing. To be as great as you have been, you're a self-motivator. I'm wondering, Aaron, do you have a chip on your shoulder because the Green Bay Packers had the nerve to maybe not want you back with everything that you accomplished? Do you want to prove to them, oh, yeah, watch me?
That's not why the chip's on the shoulder. I truly, and I hope you hear my heart here, I have no bitterness or resentment or victim mentality about anything that happened in Green Bay the last couple months. I have nothing but love and gratitude for everything that we accomplished in 18 years, the incredible memories, the friendships that I have, the amazing people I met outside of the team in the city. I just have nothing but love and gratitude for that team, and I totally understood. All good things come to an end, and whether or not they wanted to admit it in the beginning of the off season, which they really didn't, it felt to me like they were ready to move on, and frankly, so was I. Mm-hmm. So it was the best for both of us. I'm excited for them, for Jordan. I love him. He's a great kid. I'm excited for his opportunity. So many dear friends over there who reached out the last few days that I still talk to on a weekly basis for sure. But I have plenty of things, guys, to motivate me, and none of it is any type of revenge or bitterness or frustration towards the Packers. I have nothing but love and gratitude for them. I don't need that to motivate me. I got plenty of other things that I can call on in a moment's notice to give me that extra motivation if I need it.
Well, very cool. I know you've had a long day with the media.
Yes.
We thank you for coming on. You're always welcome here. This is the home of the Jets. We actually carry the Jet game. So good luck. I hope you have a wonderful time here. It's going to be fun watching you play all the time.
Thanks, guys. I hope you appreciate. I saved my best for last.
You really brought it.
You really brought it.
No, you brought it.
Really
Thank
brought
you.
it. Yes.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, guys. Take care.
Oh, that was terrific.
He was terrific.
It happened.
Yeah.